Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. My name is Muhammad Atiqur Rahman. I am pursuing my PhD in School of Engineering, School of Electrical Engineering, Faculty of Engineering. So in second semester, I am pursuing a course, Malaysian Society and Culture. On behalf of my group, 5 group members, Muhammad Atiqur Rahman, Jabid Bashar, Ahmed Khalaf, Muhammad Ali, Ibrahim, Udafa, Alfred Asante. On behalf of them, I am giving a presentation on the topic given to us, the languages of Malaysia. And this is submitted to Dr. Ruzaina bint Shahrin. So, okay, when coming to the topic, the name of the topic is Languages of Malaysia. As per Simpson's, to promote and uphold nationalism, a shared language is often used by nations as a crucial and critical element to mold its population as a nation to promote and uphold nationalism. So a common language in a nation is used as a tool to create a common identity. Language is an important symbolic marker and index of individual and a group identity. Upon independence, most young nations states adopt a standardized official language to assist in national building, promote socio-economic equality amongst its population, and boost unification through the provision of equal and improved economic development. Malaysia, upon independence and after independence from the British rule in 1957, promoted the Malay language as the sole national language of Malaysia in order to create a common Malaysian identity for its diverse multi-ethnic and multilingual population. So after the independence, the Malaysian government want to take the Malay language as a sole national language. When coming to the next slide, so this presentation presents several language policies adopted by Malaysia since independence to the present time to highlight the journey of Malaysia as a young nation state in creating its identity and promoting nationalism among its citizens. Although there was an initial shift in functional range and importance towards the Malay language, English continued to function as an official language in administration, education, diplomacy, and commerce for 10 years after Malaysian independence. With the passing of Malaysian Education Policy in 1961 and National Language Act 1967, the Malay language came to be a national and sole official language as well as the medium of instruction in mainstream, that is in primary, secondary, and tertiary education. However, in 2000-2003, in response to the rise of globalization and modernization, saw a new reversal of this national language policy with the reintroduction of English as a medium of instruction for the teaching of science and mathematics. So what is the theme of the topic? The theme of the topic, Bahasa Malaysia, is the national language in Malaysia, which act as national symbol that raises sense of national unity and maintains a sense of cultural value and identity. As the Malaysian country is multicultural, multilingual, the use of Bahasa Malaysia, English, Mandarin, and Tamil invite questions of comparative vitality, which is a strength evaluation of language related to other languages that coexist in this linguistic sphere. This presentation report where the indicators such as language use, dominance and preference, language attitude and motivation, and language proficiency aims to describe the vitality of these languages and obtain a comparative information about their connections to national and ethnic identity. So what is the reasons for choosing this topic? So from the list of topics, we got these topics. Why? Because we have chosen very late. And for choosing any topic, the three main factors has to be considered. First one is the appeal. The second one is the appropriateness. And the third one is the ability. All these three factors are related to one another. Appeal, appropriateness, ability are related to one another. But systematically focusing on each one, it helps to address the strength and weakness of the topic chosen. So we choose the topic, the language of Malaysia, languages of Malaysia, which help to address the strength and weaknesses of the language. The Malaysian education system promotes bilingualism and multilingualism through the establishment of primary schools with three mediums of instructions. That is, one is Malay, the third one is Mandarin, and the third one is Tamil. Bahasa Malaysian, the national language, is used as the medium of instruction in both primary and secondary national schools, while Mandarin and Tamil act as medium in the national vernacular primary Chinese and Tamil schools. At the same time, English is also learned as another language subject that has economic significance due to the British rule. So now concentrating on the history and development of language learning in Malaysian schools. In Malaysia, the madrasa and other Islamic schools were the earliest form of schooling, and they may be traced back to pre-independence days. So there they learned Arabic, the Quran in madrasa and Islamic schools. Secular schools were introduced under British colonial rule at the initiative of the British government. It was the only during the time of British colonial rule that large immigrants from China and India arrived in Malaysia. These migrants eventually established vernacular schools for their respective communities. The British did not establish a single uniform system of education during its rule. Emphasis was on the promotion of English schools, especially through the work of English missionary. The Chinese schools were set up as an independent enterprises supported by the Chinese guilds and communities, while the Tamil schools were largely established to serve the children of Indian migrant workers in the rubber estate. Malay schools, on the other hand, were instituted by British government to cater for Malay community needs. Prior to the independence, Malay language was already a vital language, as well as the language of general daily commerce. But the language of government was English at the time of British. Nevertheless, public notices and important documents were rendered in four main ethnic languages. They are Malay, English, Mandarin, Chinese, and Tamil. So, English language policy change in Malaysia, when it happened. The English language policy in China has changed over a past few decades to meet the demands of globalization. By the year 2000, new syllabus for the primary and secondary schools were implemented. The cabinet report on the review on the implementation of education policy 1967 79 states that English is taught in the schools to empower students to use English in everyday situation and also prepare them for higher education. Proficiency in English will help students function appropriately in the business field, commercial sectors. It is hoped that English curriculum for primary schools would provide a strong foundation in the English language for the students. If the foundation is strong, students would be able to build on the language as they proceed to higher grades in schools and be ready for tertiary education. What are the interesting values of Malaysian languages? The Malaysian language, Bahasa Malay, is the name regularly applied to the standardized form of the Malay language used in Malaysia. Constitutionally, however, the official language of Malaysia is stated as Malay, but the term Malaysian or Bahasa Malaysia is used as an official text from time to time. So Malaysian is standardized from the Johor Rai dialect of Malay. It is spoken by much of the Malaysian population, although most learn a vernacular form of Malay or another native language first. Interesting value of Malaysian language. What are the interesting values of Malaysian? The types of Malay values identified in this study were indirectness, humility, accommodating, politeness, and faith in God. Except for the last one, it must be realized that all the identified values are indeed rooted from one common trait of a Malay to another, that is conflict avoidance. So all the accommodating and politeness, indirectness, humility, they are very much rooted in the Malaysian people. In keeping with the view of Buri, one should be gracious, polite, good-natured, and calm. So these are the qualities of the Malaysian people. Indeed, Malaysians are generally quiet, gentle, reserved, and discreet. They are often modest in their attire, body language, and demeanor, and tend to approach daily life with a great deal of patience. Most likely factors of Malaysian languages. So what are the factors to like Bahasa Malay? Bahasa Malayu is a distinguished and classy language, befitting its stature as a national language. The language is infused with fineness and subtlety, making it one of the most beautiful languages in the world. Malay has no conjugations, no plurals, no gender, and best of all, no verb tenses. Add to the fact that modern Malay alphabet uses Latin alphabet, and it is easy to see why it is considered to be one of the easiest Asian languages to learn. These are some of the comparisons of words used in Malay, English, Mandarin, Tamil. If I say I, in Malay, it is say as saya, and Mandarin O, in Tamil it is called enakku. If I say you, so in Malay it is called as kamu, and Mandarin it is called ni, and Tamil it is called as ninkal. Love, sinta, I, katal. Like this, these are some of the words collected for the comparison of this teacher. Siggu, Laushi, Achiriyar. So these are some words collected for various languages which are spoken daily. When going to the Tamil language, Tamil, apart from being the name of the language, Tamil, the word itself says that Tamil means the beauty, sweet, and natural. It's one of the languages of education in Malaysia, along with English, Malay, and Chinese. Tamil language is widely used among the Tamil community, as well as by Telugu community and Malayali community, and even Punjabis even communicates in Tamil while speaking with Tamil people. The government also recognized Tamil language through media channels such as Radio TV Malaysia, RTM. Besides electronic media, Tamil is also widely used in the print media, and this is evident by the growing number of Tamil newspapers such as Tamil Nisan, Malaysia Nanban, Makkalusai, Tinakkarul, and various weekly and monthly magazines. Tamil has also earned its rightful place as an internet language along with English, Spanish, Hindi, and Mandarin. Tamil school have always been the core to the development of Tamil language in Malaysia. The first Tamil school was founded in 1816 in Penang, which was part of Penang Free School. Many Tamil schools have been established by certain parties which are non-political and religious movement on their own efforts. Currently, there are number of 524 number of Tamil schools inherited from the British, although all Tamil schools are primary level schools and are recognized by Malaysian government. Next, coming to the Chinese language, that is Mandarin. Like other language, Chinese has been influenced by the multilingual environment in which it communicates and has therefore certainly changed. Malaysia is multi-racial country, while all races maintain their own unique ethnic characteristics and linguistic habits. They influence and integrate with each other, creating a multilingual environment and a unique multicultural atmosphere unique to Malaysia. As of 2014, 93% of ethnic Chinese family in Malaysia speak varieties of Chinese, which includes Mandarin. Mandarin is generally spoken by the Chinese in Malaysia, but Hokkien is the biggest Chinese dialect in the country. Followed by Cantonese, Hakka, Teochew, Fuzhou, Hainanese, and Pucho. Hokkien is mostly spoken in Penang, north of Perak and Kedah. Cantonese is widely spoken in Ipoh, Perak, and Kuala Lumpur. Mandarin is popular in Johor, and Pucho and Hakka in Sabah respectively. In Sabah, some of the Chinese in Sandakan can speak Cantonese. Many Chinese can speak multi-Chinese dialects. So when coming into the conclusion, bilingualism in Malaysia is undoubtedly well established. It is very clear. From the year of language development, Malaysia has formulated and revised its language education policies. Policy matters hold tremendous significance for the nation as they help to build or retard national development. Currently, criticism is abundant about an education system that has not met social expectations. The general public, including parents, are beginning to play a proactive role in children's education. They have a reactionary voice to the policies and the state of teaching and learning. Currently, issues debated have centered on the importance of English and Bahasa Malaysia, emphasizing that English language learning requires stronger impetus and action in order to enable Malaysians to gain a competitive edge globally. These are the references. So finally, I will touch. How are you? You say, "Apa khabar?" I am fine. Khabar baik. Thank you. Terima kasih. You are welcome. Sama sama. Good morning. Salamat pagi. Good afternoon. Salamat tengah hari. Good evening. Salamat pitang. Good night. Salamat malam. So these are the greetings which are being given every day. So thank you for your attention. Thank you very much.